Hey guys, welcome back to the Anime Casuals podcast, the podcast for avid and casual anime fans. I'm your host Mitchell, joined by my co-host Gabriel.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Today is a special day for us and the podcast. This day, as we are recording, is our 1 year anniversary for our first upload on YouTube, which just so happened to be a podcast as well.
Yeah, and we're gonna kind of make it a similar kind of I don't know, vibe about like the topics that we discussed in that podcast. We're gonna kind of discover this one, but obviously for what came out in 2020. But yeah, we have our list ready for what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about our briefly for the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, what we think might get what nominees or whatever. We have like what we thought like out of the animes we watched, what we thought were the best. We have them ranked. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. 1 year though. How do you feel about that, Gabriel?
It's crazy. We had been talking about doing a podcast for a long time. Actually, the first thing that we ever talked about before the podcast even happened was we had went to Anime Matsuri, I think our first year together, right? Like going to Anime Matsuri, and we saw this, and just to be all intents and purposes, I'm sorry for the people if you know who I am, but we saw this terrible panel ran by like just a handful of people that like were like maybe had 1,000 or a couple thousand followers at most, and we were like, we could do a better panel than that. Like if they're just letting these people in, we could do a better panel.
Nah, I mean, I wouldn't say like, I don't think it really matters about like how big you are, how many subscribers you are. Like I don't really care about that. Like, no, obviously I enjoy the support and everything, but I don't think it was all about the numbers and everything.
No, it was just a really bad panel.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was a terrible panel, and we were like, we want to do like a panel at Anime Matsuri. So we had thought about that for a really long time. Like, oh, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We even, I think, wrote like a semi like paragraph for ideas that we could do for the panel. Right? Time passes by. It obviously didn't go through, and then the next.
I remember you had like a full on like essay ready for like that we were gonna submit, and it never went through.
Yeah,
we forgot
it never went through. Time passes on. The next Anime Matsuri comes along, and we're like, oh, are we gonna like finally do that like panel thing? Haha, jokingly. I think that's when we were like, no. Like, let's try to do a podcast. Like, let's try to do a podcast and just test the waters and see, how we do with like an actual audience. And I think that's where it started. And it was really fun. Like our first ever.
Yeah, I love this podcast.
Our first ever podcast was a lot. When I look back on it, it was a lot better than we thought it was gonna be. We just had a fun time.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Looking back on it, I was kind of like,
I'm saying, like, what we did in the podcast, like, past the first 10 minutes, because we have had we were really stiff. Almost every single podcast, we'd be stiff for, like, the first 5 to 10 minutes. And then we loosen up, And I think that's what the best thing about a podcast is. I kind of do
agree with that. Yeah, I mean, it's just us being ourselves at the end of the day.
Yeah, the best thing about our podcast,
that's really us in general on the channel.
Is like we like to be ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like when we get to be ourselves is when the best parts of this content comes out. And so that kind of started all of that. Was like after the first 10 minutes, we're like, boom, okay, now it's just like ourselves.
Yeah, I mean. Like I always say, nothing's going to stop me from being who I am at the end of the day. Like, same thing with reactions. You're always going to see me. I'm not going to try to, like, suck up to the camera or whatever. Like, say, like, this, that, and the other just so we can get views or whatever. Like, I'll just say how I feel. And if, like, people don't like it, oh, well, it's not going to hurt me at the end of the day. No one's going to stop me from being me at the end of the day. But, yeah, we're excited for this podcast. And, like, it's gone really well. Obviously, we've taken a few breaks. And but we're back on it. We're gonna try to keep we are gonna keep it more consistent. We're speaking into existence. We're gonna keep it more consistent. And if anything pops up, we will tell y'all. But yeah, right now we have a lot more things on our plate than just podcasts. You know, we have reactions, which are awesome. I enjoy doing them. So does Gabe when he does them. And we have reviews, Black Clover. Y'all should check them out. And yeah, many other things that we have planned, and really excited for it as well.
Yeah, guys, we are so excited for the things that we are committed to be doing this year. Like this year, we were like,
why did you sound so like you're like so sarcastic? Yeah, we're so excited.
I wasn't sarcastic. Look here, I was trying to do my best to be professional. Look, we are excited. We are really looking forward to the things that we have planned. Like we have so many ideas that we've written down before, and now we're actually setting them into motion, and it feels so good to do that. It feels so good to have an audience and to be able to set these things into motion, you know, after a year of building this podcast and this channel.
And one thing that we could definitely say is we enjoy every single one of y'all. Like we not enjoy, that sounds weird. We appreciate every single one of y'all. We appreciate all the support, the comments. We love reading them. We read every single comment. You know, we enjoy replying to y'all, seeing what y'all say, the feedback. We love it. Like y'all are awesome. We love this community. Yeah, man.
It's amazing. Ooh. We have people from all over the world listening, which is just also amazing. Like I remember, was it like our 5th episode, or maybe even earlier, when we were looking at like who was listening from where, and we were like, whoa, we got people in Lebanon listening to us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like people in like Iraq.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think about, but yeah,
we have a lot of Brazilian fans apparently.
Yeah, that's what kind of, that was surprising. But yeah, hey, we love y'all too. But yeah, so I guess now we're moving on more into the topic, which it's the 2020 wrap up. Basically, wrapping up everything that happened in 2020 for anime and discussing it. Should we start off with our rankings for like the anime for this year, or what?
Sure.
What do you think?
I think that would be perfect. We're gonna go bottom to top again.
All right. How many do you have on your list?
Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12.
All right. I'll go. I guess I'll go first. Oh wait, no. Yeah, I'll go first because
you have 13.
One more. Yeah, I have 13. So at number 13, it's I gave this anime a 1.5. It's an anime called Ninja Collection. Gabriel actually watched.
I refused to watch this anime. I watched one.
He watched like the first episode. He refused to watch it. I searched it up because it had the worst rating for an anime for this year, for 2020, and I just wanted to watch it, and I didn't give it a 1 because at least they tried, you know.
Barely tried.
But it just didn't look good. It just didn't. None of it was really like good.
So like,
but it had a fire outro. That's what I did like about it. It had a fire outro.
So like, I'll say this about Ninja Collection. So you remember when you were in middle school, and like they made you do like a project and you had to animate it, and then you used Powtoons to do it. You know, like that's exactly what it looked like. It looked like a Powtoons creation. It looked like at the end of it, it was gonna say creating using Powtoons. Like I was like, bro, this is literally the worst thing I've ever watched. It just looked like animated manga panels. That's it. Like literally just like back and forth, left and right. Very simplistic animation for absolutely no reason at all, and it didn't look good at all.
Mm-hmm.
It was so bad.
Yeah,
it was so bad.
If you want to, I guess you want to move on to your number 12.
Oh, my number 12, and it should be your number 12, Mitchell, I believe. Is an amazing anime that we have found by the name Peter Grill. Now, I gave this anime a 3. I did not know that it had a manga series that is actually like proudly displayed at American bookstores, but it is.
Wow.
Peter Grill is...
Does it have parental advisory sticker on it?
It should. Peter Grill is probably one of the trashiest anime I've seen in my entire anime.
It's hilariously bad. That's the thing. It's funny how bad it is.
Trashy. Yeah, it's hilariously trashy. Like the people that created it knew what they were doing when they did it. They knew. There's no way they didn't know. You know,
like you could when you're watching it, you could feel themselves. You could feel them like making fun of their own creation.
It felt like
they
their
know.
goal was to make the worst anime possible, and they did really good at that. The anime is not good, but they did really good at making a shit anime.
It's funny, and as you said, you were correct in saying that Peter Girl was my number 12 with a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a 3 out of 10 for me. It is also a 3 out of 10 for me.
So yeah, it was so funny, like just watching it. We watched it with our friend, and it was just funny watching it, like how stupid things were, and just like, oh gosh, just Peter Grill as a character, and God, it was
this man
it was interesting, I guess we could say.
Was tortured. You know what I'm saying? But he put himself into his own torture.
He low key he was living the life. No, I'm joking, but but yeah, they just wanted this man's seed. You feel me? But all right, if you want to move on to number 11, then
sure. My number 11, and this is really should be no surprise if you've looked at my list. My number 11 is Fire Force Season 2.
Oh,
The amount of disappointment that I got from watching the first 2 episodes of Fire Force Season 2 was immense. And it never changed. I gave it a 6 out of 10. I'm giving it props for its fight. Oh, wait. I'm giving it props for its fight scenes. Its fight scenes so far have actually been really nice to watch. The animation still has not toned down. It is amazing. It is a beautiful anime to look at. But it's just so bad to me. You know, like they'll have really, really good things about like the anime. And you're thinking, okay, they're gonna take it this direction and they're gonna, carry on with it. No. They immediately destroy the possibility of having a good subplot.
Yeah.
And it really frustrates the hell out of me.
Shinra ruins the series. I feel like the only good characters in the series are Benimaru, Joker, and what's Captain Burns. I feel like those are really the only solid characters in it. All the other characters just kind of can't even really remember their names. I don't know. Arthur, Shinra. Shinra is one of the worst shonen protagonists to me, protagonists in general, in all of anime, and I feel like he really ruins the series for me. But yeah, I feel like they really dropped the ball there.
The crazy thing was, one of the best parts of season 1 was actually the backstories, because it gave every single side character some actual character development in its own backstories. For example, it was but it at least added something. It kept you going, I don't remember the lieutenant's name, but the lieutenant, he just has a hard name. The lieutenant, he had an amazing backstory. Captain Obi versus Benimaru, that fight scene was just amazing to watch because it showed the drive of Captain Obi, even though he's powerless. Yeah, and how he got from
that was dope.
Where he was to where he was like before he joined the Fire Force to how he became the captain of Company 8. But this season had none of that. This season had absolutely none of that, and it was legit disgusting on like how little they tried to make it interesting.
I feel like it is just. I'll get to it when I get to it on my list, and I'll try and discuss it a little bit more. But is there anything else you want to say about it?
Yeah, I'll make one more point about it, and then you can say what you want whenever you bring it up. But I'll say this, and I've mentioned this to Mitchell multiple times. The things that went wrong with, and because you have to remember this, the creator of Soul Eater, same creator of Fire Force, the things that went wrong with Soul Eater go even worse with Fire Force. Like the tiniest thing that you could pick out of Soul Eater and said, it could have been a little better, is absolutely shit in Fire Force, and probably the reasons why it brings it down so much. And I feel like if it just went on its own and stopped trying to copy the success of Soul Eater, then it would probably be a much better anime. But that is neither here nor there. I could care less about it now. If season 3 is good, well then I guess it'll be good, but I probably won't be watching it as it airs.
Alright, well, I guess I'll move on to my number 11. This is one of the animes that I did not tell you about. It's called The Day I Became a God. So it's...
I'm sorry. I had been asking him multiple times what anime he was watching. And he multiple times would not tell me what it was so that he could surprise me for this podcast so that I couldn't watch it. And it really upset the hell out of me.
It's The Day I Became a God.
God,
Surprise. So I gave it a 5 out of 10. Before I watched the last episode, I would have given it a 4. But the last episode that I just watched, I actually just watched it before this podcast. I've only watched about 5 episodes because I'm watching it dubbed just because it's something that I could, watch in the background stuff, I'm watching it. And episode 5, I think it was. That broke me down. I that made me tear up, and that episode was so beautiful. It's probably one of the best episodes, maybe all year. It was such a great episode. I'd give it like a 9 or a 10 out of 10, maybe 10 out of 10 for that episode. It was so good. It just, I guess it really, I feel like it gave the series more of a what's the word? I can't think of a word for it, but it really
more complete feel
after. Yeah, I guess more complete, and it kind of gives me a feel of where it could go from here, and more of a feel of like where this anime can go. And it's like, potential. Wow, okay, this anime could actually do a lot better. It could be better than a 5. It could be a lot better than that. So,
So you're saying it's just a Rocky season 1?
No, it's not. It's only 5 episodes that I've seen so far.
Oh, okay.
And I haven't finished the rest of the season because the rest of it's not dubbed. Because like I said, I just watched this something to watch in the background, and you can't really watch a subbed anime in the background. So yeah, it's enjoyable.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want me to move on to my number 10?
Yeah, sure.
Hello? Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. My number 10 is going to be God of High School with a 7. I enjoyed watching God of High School, but it did not live up to the hype. What I believed was that God of High School was better than Tower of God, and was really good. I heard bad things about it, but I didn't really understand them because I don't stay in the community too much online. But when I watched it, I realized why people were complaining about it. It has a problem in a lot of different areas, and one of those areas, without a doubt, is story. It's so hard to follow what's going on, and I was confused.
Yeah, I told you. I think they covered in 13 episodes. They did 120 or 130 chapters. It was completely rushed. They tried to do too much, to the point where there's no story. They were saying the man was completely different from the anime, completely different stories.
Yeah, I was confused on what was happening. I didn't understand what was happening. I was just kind of in it for the fights. The last episode, or the last 2 episodes, are really confusing as hell, and I was like, "This is, I don't get it," And it left me with a dissatisfied taste in my mouth. The first 7 episodes, I really enjoyed. The fights were good. But every time they would cut to something that has to do with the story that's going on around the tournament, I was like, I don't like this. In no way am I really even that interested because I have no idea who these people are, you know. And it was just weird. It was just a weird way to frame a story. You know, I felt like they could have done much better. And for that reason, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. It was good, but without a doubt, it could have been much better.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I guess I'll move on to my number 10. And now it's Fire Force Season 2. For me, I gave this a 5 out of 10. It's just extremely average, same as the first season. 5 out of 10. It just average. Like, this is the most average anime. It has good animation and a couple good characters, but it's just an average anime. Nothing really too special about it. At points where you think, you feel like it's gonna get serious or whatever, it just gets ruined or whatever. Like something else just gets brought up. Oh, that voice crack. Oh yeah, something else just gets brought up, or the momentum shifts. You're hyped up for this thing, and they're like, oh, but we have to wait 2 years before we could even do this thing. Or it's like, they're doing this, that, or the other, and it's just like, all right, now we've came back here, we got all our information, and now we're not going to do anything about it. Like, the most exciting point of that, like, this whole series, literally the whole series so far, is the Joker and Benimaru episodes, because I didn't have to see a second of Shinra, because Shinra's horrible.
That I was going to say.
Shinra's bad.
The Joker and Benimaru siege together was probably the highlight of the whole series. But at the same time, it ended in an episode. So it was like, okay.
It was a couple episodes.
Two.
It was a couple episodes.
No, 2. They started.
Yeah, that's why I said a couple.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just really like upsetting to me because I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a good, little couple, a few episodes of some good fights, and then it's just like, it ended so easily, and I was like, this is not fun. This is not.
I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was okay. I just want to know more about the story. I feel like it's just taking too long for us to like even learn stuff about it. And like the one thing, and like when there's actual mysteries that you want to learn, like there was this one mystery where they were like, oh, the evangelist, this one dude must have done this, and then literally it's like, instead of like making it a mystery throughout the whole series, they just be like, oh yeah, it skips to the other dude, and he's like, oh yeah, I was the one who did this, or I can't remember, he was the one who made like the flame, or he was the one who like killed somebody.
He started the religion, is what he did.
Yeah, or he did something
he started,
like that.
He started
and
the religion that the whole like Japan is based off of, which is really
like
stupid.
It's very it's very forgettable. That's the thing. Like a lot of stuff in Fire Force, it's very forgettable. Like I don't even remember that girl's name at this, this season has been revolving around. She's like the new pillar or whatever it's called. I don't even remember her name. I remember she does that little finger thing, but it's very forgettable. The story, it's very capable of doing much better than it is. It just isn't.
Yeah, and like I said,
the way it's being delivered,
I think
it's just very, very average.
Yeah, I think it's just trying to ride the coattails of Soul Eater way too much. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I'll move on to my number 9. And from here on out, you're only going to hear good things. I will say bad things about damn near nothing on the rest of this list. My number 9 is Weathering With You with a 8 out of 10. This movie, guys, was the best fucking... like, literally one of the best anime movies I've ever seen in my life. I saw it in theaters, so it was like a completely different experience. If you don't see it in theaters, you might not enjoy it as much, but it was amazing. I even missed like the first 10 or 15 minutes, and it still made me cry my eyes out. Like, it was an amazing movie, without a doubt.
Yeah, I do plan on seeing it.
Do you have anything to say?
I haven't seen it.
At all?
No, I haven't seen it at all.
Man, it is just amazing. And what they did with the animation, the sound design. I mean, I could go on uh, about this movie. The semi realism of everything is just the best, and I think that's one of the better things about these kinds of movies is that like the fact that it's kind of like fantastical, but it mixes the real world in so much that it makes you feel like it could actually happen. And it was just an amazing movie in general.
Kind of like I don't think you've. Yeah, oh, yeah, I do plan on watching it.
You can go ahead.
Yeah,
and go
kind of the way you're describing it kind of sounds like I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. I know you haven't seen it, but that one's also. Yeah. But I guess if you want me to move on to my number 9, I'll move on. It's The God of High School. I give it a 5.5. So it started off like, it felt fast, but it was all right for me. I would have given like the first half of the series like a 7, but the second half was just it felt even more rushed. Didn't know what was really going on, this, that, and the other. They really tried to rush it too much. The animation was good, the fights were good. Didn't really just understand what was happening at some points. Other points you can kind of understand, but like some points you just really can't. Gene Mori, I think that was his name, the main character. I liked him as a character. What was that one female's name? She was kind of forgettable. One who wants to learn like the something sword or whatever.
I
can't even remember.
Forget. I know it starts with the M, but I forget.
I think it's like the moon sword or something like moon dance. I don't know, something like that. And I don't know. It was kind of whatever. That one dude though, he was pretty cool. Gene Mori's friend or whatever. Yeah, it was part of like the little trio. Yeah, he was pretty dope, and he had that one dude who ended up dying. Yeah, that was pretty sad. But yeah, it just felt rushed, really. I feel like I was very hyped up for this anime because all the stuff I was hearing, good fights, action, a little, some story, and I heard like all these good things about it and where it's gonna go and this, that, and the other, and it just didn't bring really any of that to me. The first episode had me really hyped, but then after that, all the hype was gone.
I mean, you have to give it to them. They pulled off the fights amazing.
Slightly above average.
The fights were just beautiful, and they were really good. But aside from the fights, there's almost no reason to watch it.
So yeah, I would say it was the worst manhwa adaptation to come out. Not by if we're going by animation, it was the best adaptation animation wise, but just how it was delivered and the pacing just like they're just basically cutting parts out of the story that they're probably looking at the manhwa and like, oh, we don't need this, we'll just put the fight in there, we don't need any backstory, or we'll just put this in because it's action. This isn't Dragon Ball. This is this is the God of High School. It's supposed to be dope. It's not Dragon Ball where they're just fighting for just a fight.
Yeah. And let's connect it with some random people dying. Yeah, like just cutscene to some random people getting slaughtered, and act like it's important. Yeah.
I mean I feel like people were over exaggerating. I understood a little bit. I just feel like you had to pay like really close attention to it, and because they kind of did explain it, but still, it just kind of felt like it was thrown in there. Stuff like that, it was just kind of thrown in there. It's like, oh yeah, this is going on, boom, and then like 2 episodes later, you find out more. They're like, okay, so they went from here to here, and this is going on. It doesn't really explain to you what's going on.
Yeah. I will move on to my number 8. My number 8 is going to be Higurashi When They Cry 2020 with an 8 out of 10. And let me just tell you, I have a very soft spot for horror anime. And I have never seen the original Higurashi When They Cry. But this is an amazing anime, guys. I'm not completely done with it, but I'm almost I'm almost done with it. And it is just so nice to finally have another mystery kind of mind-breaking suspense anime. And you know, it's really fun to watch. It's really fun to watch. You are so confused, but at the same time, you're interested in it, and it's really cool. I really enjoy it. The psychological aspect of it is interesting, and I can't wait for it to finish and for me to try to make sense of what is happening on screen. But without a doubt, you know, the animation is pulled off really well. The story is pulled off really well. Tying it all together, it almost feels like, you know, it feels like the best parts of horror anime and Japanese horror video games, which is, you know, trying to like tell a story through all the little clues that they give you. And so
Yeah.
I'm really excited for it to wrap up. But with that, yeah, I gave it an 8 out of 10. It is amazing. If you like horror anime, please go watch it.
Okay. So I guess we're moving on to 8, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be year 8.
All right. So my number 8 is another anime that Gabriel didn't know I was watching. It's
God
called
damn you.
My Next Life as a Villainess. This one, it was was it? I don't know. Would I say no? This wouldn't be the best isekai I've seen, but it's definitely up there with the best isekai I've seen.
You said it's up there.
I'd give it either like somewhere between. You know what? Let's give it a 7. Let's give it a 7. It was pretty solid. It had some comedy. And would I give it a? You know, we'll just say 7 for the podcast. Just because I have to settle on a number. So it's I like the comedy in it. I kind of like the story. It was great to see how she, you know, switched her life around. How she was kind of delusional about everything. She didn't realize how, you know, everybody around her. She had already like changed her outcome without knowing that she had changed her outcome, just by, you know, she worried too much and everything. And I thought it was cool. It was funny. They tried to add this little power system into it. I thought that was a little bit weird, but I liked seeing her interact with all these characters. Her, like, you know, stressing about when this, that, and the other is gonna happen, and, you know, all these other characters, you know, fighting about her and everything. I thought it was cool. I thought it was funny. Nothing like too crazy. Just something you could sit down, you know, have a couple laughs at and enjoy. So I think it did what it was. I think that's what it was meant to do, and it did a good job at it. So that would be my number 8. That's really all I have to say about my number 8.
All right, then I will move on to my number 7. And my number 7 is going to be Noblesse with a 8.4. I don't know if Mitchell predicted where Noblesse would be on my list, but it is dead in the middle of the road. Mainly because like I said, nothing bad about Noblesse. It's just not better than all the other ones to me. But it is just an amazing story. Like, we get another supernatural anime that we haven't had in a long time. I think the last supernatural anime to do a really good job, like Noblesse is doing, I would say is Black Butler. It is really fun to watch.
A lot of people hate that.
What?
A lot of people hate Black Butler.
Oh, yeah, well, I don't care. Anyways, it's really fun to have another really good supernatural anime. Not an isekai, but just, you know, like one that has to deal with the supernatural. And I really enjoy the story. I really did like the OVA. Like, it was interesting. Everything about it was interesting. Fun to watch it play out. I will say the main character is a little dull. He's a good main character, don't get me wrong, but he kind of has this trait of like, yeah, I'm just gonna, like, you know, do whatever is, like, you know, like whatever I think will make me happy. And he's kind of dull.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I think the side characters really drive the story home. For example,
Well, I think
Frankenstein.
that's what he's meant to be.
Yeah, like Frankenstein is like probably the best character in Noblesse, without a doubt. He is just an amazing character to watch, and especially his backstory is also amazing. But yeah, with that, I gave it an 8.4. It's really good. If you haven't gone and seen it, like I said, best supernatural anime I've seen in a long time, and I'm really happy I watched it.
And that's got a lot of a lot of shit thrown at it. Like, people are just like trashing it, like saying it's horrendous, it's horrible, blah blah blah. It's like garbage. Like, I've never seen this much like people are just slaughtering Noblesse.
I have no idea
it's
why.
Absolute
it's good.
Horrendous.
It's really good.
2 out of 10 at best. I'm like, jeez. Like, these people, I don't know. Same people who'd give Dragon Ball 10 out of 10. But anyways, so I guess we'll move on to my number 7. My number 7 would be Tower of God. That's what I would.
Wow.
So, revealing that I would say the best manga adaptation this year would be Noblesse.
Wow.
Tower of God, it was just very. I give it a 7 out of 10. The latter half of the story, the anime kind of redeemed it. Kind of made me, it made me feel like we're about to go on an adventure, and then it just stopped. So it kind of makes me want to read it, but at the same time, no. The beginning, it was just very weird. Bomb was pretty dull. I liked what's his name, Gator, and the blue haired dude that he called him Blue Turtle. I'm just gonna call him Blue Turtle, Black Turtle. All that's what Gator called him. So, I thought he was a very interesting character, Blue Turtle. He was an interesting character. I don't remember his name. I'm just gonna call him that. But yeah, he was an interesting character. I really love Gator. He was really funny. Great character. Enjoyed him. But just everybody else, it was kind of dull. The Rachel thing, it was kind of like, yeah, like the whole, like, she pushed him, tried to kill him type beat. Yeah, I mean, at the end, I didn't really like, I wasn't really like, I didn't really feel it until, like, I was like, oh, so they think he's dead. Okay, so blah blah blah. But a lot of this, it just didn't make sense, like, why they're doing this. But I'm sure if I keep reading, I'll find out. But I'm not really that interested to read. Didn't make me. It kind of made me want to read because it was leaving off on an adventure part. But the what am I trying to say? Like, just how the beginning, it just kind of felt boring. Didn't really know what was going on. It just kind of, it was just like, this is happening, no explanation. The tower is still not even really explained. You don't really know what's going on. You're kind of just watching it. Like, you're literally just watching it. You don't really know what's going on. Like, they didn't do a very good job at, like, explaining anything. And then, like, I'm having to ask for clarification on these things from people who are reading it because it doesn't make any sense. Like, they're in a tower, but, like, they are already in the tower, but they had to go be accepted into the tower, but they weren't in the tower. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, all of a sudden this gate just opens and, like, so they were in the tower, but they weren't in the tower, but they just had to get accepted into the. It was weird. Like, none of it made sense. Like, things were just happening because they were happening. I mean, yeah, it's anime, but can you at least help me out a little bit? Didn't really help me out. Kind of just felt weird. So it was just very confusing.
I'm gonna let you say what you want to say, and I'll hold my points for whenever I get to Tower of God, because I have a lot to say.
At the end, it saved itself.
I have a lot to
say. Saved itself. And I remember you talking about, like, the politics and all that. And politics, they were never really involved. All it really did was just this one dude was like, yeah, I'm gonna ruin this bomb's career or whatever. And then this other dude's like, all right, fine, I'm gonna quit because you tried to ruin Bomb's career. And then this one dude's like, all right, I'll follow you. And because he's like, I just got kicked off too, so I'll follow you. There was really no politics. They didn't show you anything with King Jahad. They just showed, like, 3 princesses. They didn't show really too much. Like, politics weren't that big of a thing in it. So it was. But I'd give it a 7 out of 10. The end, later half, they do good. So I guess move on to your 6 out of 10. I mean, your 6.
Oh, my 6 is going to be Darwin's Game. Now, Darwin's Game was a really good anime, and I did not expect it to be a really good anime. Um, let's just say that like we've had an anime like this before. This battle type survival of the fittest anime. For example, Miraniki is a really good one. And I didn't think that the same idea would work, but it did. And I want to really give it to probably the protagonist of Darwin's Game. He may be my favorite protagonist of 2020. He was really smart. He has some of the best strategies of all time. And since watching it, I literally think that he has to be up there with some of the smartest anime protagonists, along with Light Yagami, and Senku, just because of how good his strategy is. He is. There's inherent talent within him, which is stated in the anime multiple times. But aside from that, he's just so smart and so good at having like just the best battle strategies of all time that it makes him like just built like that. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just built like that. Like he could he could be put in any situation and know exactly how he's going to get out of it. He's already 5 steps ahead of you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it was proven within the last arc of Darwin's Game, and the hotel/coin arc was probably one of my favorite like arcs of anime of all time. It was interesting, really fun to watch. Never missed a beat. I enjoyed it so much. So okay. I give it a 8.7 out of 10. Very, very good. Very good.
So that's what your number 6 was?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll move on to my number 6, and that'd be Tonikawa. I just actually watched within the past week. I started it and finished it. Honestly, very, very wholesome. I loved it. Kind of a slice of life rom-com. Very, I like seeing the main character and, what's her name? God, I can't forget her name. She was so sweet. Man, I can't remember. But yeah, I just like seeing them. It was such a like, it's like a wholesome anime. It wasn't amazing, but it's just a great watch, a solid watch, seeing them grow and become, they're married, but you seeing them, getting closer to each other, opening up more to each other, realizing who each other are more as a person, because, they didn't really know each other all that, but they're starting to realize as they live with each other, they're realizing the little things about each other that they wouldn't have realized, if they, hadn't been living together and all that. So, they're starting to learn more about each other and become more of a, I don't know, just like I don't know, if people would say power couple or whatever. It's just really wholesome, cute, and all the things, none of them really, there's no arguing or anything. It's just kind of like a wholesome relationship. It's a great relationship, and you see them progress throughout it, and then progresses not as only as a relationship, but as characters, and you see how, like, on the side, you see how the main character he is as a person, and, like, he's well respected, and he doesn't really see it, but yeah, I really like it. So I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10, and that'd be my number 6. So I guess now we're moving on to the top 5, right?
Yes, we are. And my number 5 is going to be My Hero Season 4. This season, probably my favorite season of My Hero, without a doubt. This season was so amazing. Really? Dude. It had... And I just debated this with Mitchell not too long ago. And when I say not too long ago, I literally mean like less than an hour ago. It had probably my favorite, if not my top 2 favorite fights in the whole series, which is Endeavor versus Nobu. That fight was so amazing to watch. I'm not gonna lie, that fight, I wish that I could just redo the experience of watching it for the first time, because it was so like groundbreaking. Like never before had I watched a fight and was like, this is literally the shit. Like this is literally like peak of anime right here. And the story was amazing. Deku,
Yeah, I agree. I love the fight.
being able to just, what's up?
No, I said yeah. I
What'd you
agree.
say?
I really love the fight. It was a great fight.
Yeah, Deku being able to let loose with all of his power, and using Eri as like a conduit to just kind of soak up so that he doesn't kill himself, was an amazing ability for him to use. Very fun to watch. I think every single part of the season was just amazing. Even why am I forgetting his name? Is it Night Eye or is it?
You talking about the gentle criminal? I think his name was.
No. One for All's. No, One for All.
You talking about overall?
Yeah. What? No. Why am I forgetting his name? Not Gentle Criminal. The dude that was apprentice to One for All.
Shigaraki?
What's his name?
You mean
Oh,
All
but
for One and you mean All for One and Shigaraki?
No. Yeah. No. The other dude. Oh.
What do you mean? His
No,
the dude who's
the
getting his power is
the
Shigaraki.
original apprentice for One for All. Or the original apprentice
What are you
for All Might.
talking about?
The original apprentice for All Might.
Oh, Lemillion?
No, the original, the first one before Lemillion.
What?
Oh my gosh.
That person's dead.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. I'm saying his death was an amazing part in season 4. Oh. I just forgot his name. Sir Night Eye. See? I had to look it up. But yeah, Sir Night Eye, like his death was just one of the best.
He
parts
never
of
had
season
All
4.
for One. What are you talking about?
I said
he never had
apprentice,
One for All.
Like he was going to be.
You said apprentice.
No,
you said apprentice for One for All.
I thought. Did I say One for All?
You mean All Might?
Yes, I said All Might Apprentice.
Okay, that's
because he was going. He was the first person that was originally going to get the power, but then All Might.
No, he wasn't. That was Lemillion. That was Lemillion. He was like that's why he was training. He was gonna get Lemillion, and then he met Deku along the way. That's who Sir Night Eyes had in store. Like he was like, okay, I want to introduce you to this person, and then he met Deku along the way, and he liked his drive. He liked how he is, and then he ended up passing on the power to him. Sir Night Eye was never gonna get the power. He just all he did was just say, if you keep going along like this, you're gonna die. That's all he said. That's what he told All Might.
No, yeah, I know that.
Okay, but
But
yeah, you can
anyways,
keep
I was gonna say, yeah, Sir Night Eye's death was just literally was an amazing part of that season. Literally the fights, and then even the really emotional part, and then it finally culminates to Endeavor versus Nobu, where you get some of the most emotional parts of the anime, along with the fights, and it ties together to just a really, really amazing way to end the season. And I'm so excited for season 5. I really am. This is probably the most excited I've been for a shonen season in a long time.
I wouldn't say that for me personally.
And
I guess
I would give
my opinion.
season 4 a 9. Sorry, my 9. Season 4.
Okay. So I guess I'll move on to my number 5, and that'd be Noblesse. I'm gonna make it really brief. I really like the story. I like some of the characters. It's just a story that I really enjoy more. I know what's actually going on, unlike Tower of God, which did a very poor job, and The God of High School, which was, things just splashed in there, and they skipped way too many things. Noblesse did a good job. The pacing's great, and everyone make sure before you watch Noblesse, watch the OVA because it picks up where the OVA left off. The OVA came out a few years back. It's only like 30 minutes or something, 31 minutes, something like that. But make sure you watch it. Then everything will make sense. It's a good thing to watch before the anime. And yeah, I actually watched the OVA first because I thought that was the anime, but no, it wasn't. So watch that. It'll make sense. Yeah, and it's a great start to the series because or else it kind of just picks up and you're kind of like, what the heck? But yeah, the Noblesse anime, very enjoyable. Love the action. The fighting's awesome. It's so badass. Very enjoyable anime. 7.5 out of 10. All right.
Oh, so, yeah, and that may be a reason why people have given it such bad ratings. Is that they might not have actually seen the OVA.
Maybe.
Which is...
But you want to...
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go ahead and go
4.
on to my number 4, which is going to be the one, the only Dorohedoro. This anime was something that just cannot be replicated. This is a JoJo type anime. It's so good, at points it doesn't even feel like anime because it's just so different. And I'm not a big fan of CGI stuff. I really hate CGI in anime. It's a really big pet peeve for me. But Dorohedoro did it really well, and it actually made me enjoy CGI anime for the first time. The characters in it were very interesting. The story was so quirky enough that you know, like, it kind of just like lets you laugh, but at the same time gets you interested. And the just oh my god, the art, the animation, the blood, like they literally they don't let back. They're so satirical at every single point and turn. It's just fun to watch. And I really do enjoy the comedy in Dorohedoro. They know what they're doing the majority of the time, and they write some pretty clever jokes in there. And I don't know what else to say other than it's probably one of the best things that has come out of 2020. Dorohedoro, 9.3 out of 10. Amazing anime.
Okay. So I guess I'll move on to my number 4, which would be Rent a Girlfriend. I give that an 8 out of 10. I thought it was good. I thought it was a great anime. I love it's it's more of, I feel like it's more of a comedy and it has some drama thrown in it, but yeah, I think it really does good at the comedy and everything. It's funny. I like, Chizuru. She's best girl of the year.
Chizuru.
So, huh?
I said Mizuhara Chizuru, best girl. Amen.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, she's best girl of the year, easily, hands down. Yeah, I don't know if I'd say easily, but yeah, I'd say she's best girl for me. She's a really enjoyable character. She kind of just ends up fixing all of the main character's problems that he puts himself in. He's very stupid in the decisions that he makes. A lot of the stuff, especially in the beginning, but in the latter half of the series, it becomes better.
Stop
but
hating on
some of the Kazuya, some of the drama, it kind of feel like they were kind of trying to force drama. But if I had to nitpick anything, it just kind of felt like they were forcing drama and it was kind of predictable. It's just like, okay, yeah, I knew that was gonna happen, or like, yeah, I could see this happening. It's not like, whoa, like I wasn't expecting that. Like some of this, it's like, I could see that coming, but some of it, some of you're like, okay, well that's rather unfortunate, and like some of the drama, it's good. But yeah, I would give it a solid 8 out of 10. Enjoyable, wholesome, funny. One of the best comedies to come out this year. And yeah, and it kind of makes me excited to see where the series goes from here. This might even win. And I think I know it's going to win Anime of the Year. But yeah, I guess now we're in the top 3. So you want to move on to your number 3?
Yeah, sure. My number 3 is Tower of God. Now, what can I not say about Tower of God that is good? Tower of God is amazing to me.
A lot.
What's up? Shut up. I originally
No, because you said, what can you say that's not good? And I said a lot.
okay. I originally didn't want to watch it because like when I first had seen screenshots of it, the animation style like really turned me off at that time.
You mean the art
When I
style?
revisited
Yeah.
it months. What's up?
Nothing.
All right. When I revisited it months later, it just was amazing to me. I really did end up liking the animation a lot more than I thought I did. It looks hand drawn, very nice to me. I really just like the way it looks. I will give it to Mitchell. The first episode kind of doesn't make sense. We don't really understand why he's just kind of teleported straight to the tower. But to criticize Mitchell, we do know why they're in the tower and why they're on the lower levels. Because the lower levels are used.
No, that's not
to
what.
test-
That's not what I was. That's not what I was saying. I was saying I never said that. I said like it didn't explain, and like even Monwood readers who are trying to explain it. So it's like they're in the tower, but they're not in the tower, and essentially like the tower's like people are trying to explain it to me. They're like the tower is the world, so they are in the tower, but they're not in the tower to where they can climb it, and they're not in the point like before they actually enter the tower, and how the doors just kind of appear out of nowhere. It doesn't really make sense like that. Like a door just appears, like someone's crying, and then all of a sudden a door just appears, and boom, she just disappears, and she just teleports there. It's like, how does this happen? It doesn't really make any sense. Doesn't do a very good job at explaining things. A very poor job, in my opinion, of explaining how things happen. It's like I say, it's anime, but come on, let's get a little bit of explanation.
So far in the season, I don't think we have a good idea of the outside world outside of the tower, but we know that people can choose to go to the tower within that world. Bam is from a different world. We don't know why he's from a different world.
No, what they said isn't a regular. Is someone who wasn't chosen. They
No.
like either
he
forcefully
literally
entered.
isn't from that world. Like it is stated in the anime, he acknowledges he's not from that world. He doesn't know why he's there, but he is an irregular.
I don't remember
he
that.
is an
but-
irregular in which he somehow got there by himself. The tower did not choose him. You know.
But wait, and then in the last episode, it made it even more confusing because when the god was talking to Rachel, he's like, "Oh, we weren't choosing you. We were choosing somebody else to come. This is who we were actually choosing." And then like it reveals that I guess they were actually trying to get Bomb to come in, but they just made a mistake somehow because they're like, "Oh no, the tower wasn't choosing you." I remember like him saying that directly to her. She's like, "What are you talking about? I have to climb the tower. Why? I wanna, I want to see the Little Dipper. Like what? And then it didn't make sense, and you see Bomb, and then he comes through or whatever, and it's just like, doesn't make sense.
Anyways, yeah. So you can enter the tower within their world, within whatever world the tower exists in. You can enter the tower on your own will. The lower levels are to test people so that they can go further and advance through the tower. Irregulars just kind of pop up wherever they want, and then they're tested and placed in their own little sections depending on their skill level. But it was really fun for me to watch. I enjoyed it. I will admit there are similarities to the Hunter x Hunter exam. At points, it does feel like the Hunter x Hunter exam, the anime, but even then, that's not bad because the Hunter x Hunter exam
and
was
honestly,
amazing,
I wouldn't
really enjoy it.
I would.
I
didn't see the comparisons that people were honestly doing there. Like I saw minor, but it wasn't anything like too where I was like, okay, this is a carbon cut copy, because people were making it seem like it was a carbon cut copy.
It
wasn't.
wasn't.
It was different.
It wasn't.
Hunter x Hunter exam arc was better.
No. I will say it was different, and I did like it. I liked it a lot. The politics, I was talking specifically when I was talking to Mitchell about it, I was talking about the politics of the princesses of Jihad, which is interesting because like they have their own little like politics system within the tower, and it's very like cool to see that even within the testers and the examinees, like they were like, oh, you know, like I'm just a tester, it's not my job, you know.
Yeah.
So it was really cool when they started getting into that. That's where I think the anime got really interesting, into their world building was like how the power structure of the tower works, including Jihad himself, who we don't really know who he is, but I'm just gonna assume that he's the only person that's actually conquered the tower itself. And it was just really fun to watch. And there was a lot that I liked about it. There's very little things that I didn't like about it. One more bad thing, I guess, was Khun is kind of he is pretty much a carbon cut copy of Killua. I'm not gonna lie. He literally is just Killua. I can't state any other.
You mean Blue Turtle?
Yeah. He literally is just.
No, he's
Killua.
actually he's probably yeah.
Cool.
But that's not a bad thing. He's the best character.
Like I said, it's not a bad thing, but it
I would say Gator. Gator's my favorite.
He is your favorite, Khun? Oh,
Gator,
Gator. Yeah. But I enjoy it, man. It was really fun to watch, kind of funny at times, really interesting, and I enjoy and I can't wait to see season 2 and get deeper in understanding the world that it takes place in. And for that, I give Tower of God a 9.4 out of 10. You can go on to your third, Mitchell.
All right, yeah. All right, this one is hard because it really, if I'm going by rating, it really should be my number 2. But I'm doing this because I put it there because I'm doing like My Hero season 4 as a whole. So that's what I have on my number 3 spot. But I'm giving it like a high 9. Like a mid 9, so like a 9. I'll give it like a 9.5 out of 10 because the second half of the series we see the Overall versus Deku fight, insane, one of the best fights we've seen. Endeavor versus Nomu, that it gives me the amount of goosebumps it gave me. Whoa, my voice always cracks on here. So yeah, the goosebumps it gave me, it was insane watching it. I was really rooting for him. It feels like you're a kid again, and you're like rooting for somebody, like a sports team. You're like, come on, go, like you're rooting for him. That's how the anime makes me feel. Like I'm really rooting for this character, and I think his name was either Kind or Gentle Criminal. People didn't like that. I loved it. I loved that. I thought it was
shit in the world.
I thought that was awesome. Like his backstory. And then how it ended up, how it ended, I thought it was awesome. At first, it was just kind of like, but I honestly thought it was great. It had comedy, the fights there were insane, and then, how it ended, it was just, kind of, a little bit wholesome, and it was just kind of wow, honestly, I can't remember, too much about, exactly what happened, but I just remember, feeling, stop voice cracking, I just remember feeling wow, I really enjoyed that. I kind of feel for this character, and I'm just really enjoying this part. That part got a lot of shit for some reason. I don't know why, but I just thought that was really well animated. I guess, or adapted. That part was really well adapted, and I just really enjoyed that part.
What's the score?
But yeah, I'm excited for season 5. Huh?
What's the score?
Oh, like a 9.5,
9.
or 9.3, 9.4, 9.5, somewhere around there.
Damn. Okay.
Somewhere around there. So, because this is the second half of the season, so that's what I'd give. Because the first half of the season, the second half of the season, boom, that's what I expect from My Hero. Dang near masterpiece stuff,
Absolutely.
And it did it live up to season 3? It wasn't as good as season 3. It wasn't as good as season 1. But the second half of the season was as good as say the likes of season 1 and such. So yeah.
Time to move on to my number 2. Which, Mitchell, what do you think
I love
my
Hero.
Is?
Oh. Wait, hold on. Before I say this, one more thing. The My Hero, the new season, I don't want to ruin your hopes or anything, but apparently people are saying the first arc for season 5 is supposed to be the worst arc in My Hero, so
Rip.
It's kind of bummer.
Rip.
R.I.P. But the second half is supposed to be insane.
Nice. Making up for it. My number two.
So your number 2 is...
What do you think it is, Mitchell? I'm gonna let you guess. It's between
It's
two.
either Jujutsu
now,
Kaisen or Rent a Girlfriend.
What do you think it is?
Well, it should be Peter Grill, but
Oh yeah.
okay. I think you're gonna give it to, let's just say, you know what, I feel like you are gonna put, you should, like, knowing you should put Jujutsu Kaisen, but I'm just thinking maybe you're trying to throw a curveball at me, because why else would you ask? So I'm gonna say you put Rent a Girlfriend at number 2.
Rent a Girlfriend is at number 2.
Okay.
Girlfriend was really, honestly, my favorite rom-com now. I think now I'm putting it there. I think now I'm putting it my favorite rom-com of all time. For anime. It was so good. It was so good, and it was so good it made me read the manga. But for right now, let's just talk about the anime. Kazuya is kind of a terrible protagonist, but that's what makes the anime fun to watch, because you get to watch him struggle in being a decent human being, and Mizuhara is there to help him become one and get a girlfriend, even though he's like 20 years old. It really is a good anime, and at points it feels very realistic, especially with the character Mami. Like, she feels like somebody that exists,
Dick.
like here in this day and age.
That's what she is.
She feels she's a terrible person, but that's the thing. There are really terrible people that come up in life, especially in dating lives, and people like that exist. And I think that's what kind of like made me like the anime a lot, was its semi-realism to real life. I really did enjoy it. Ruka to me is best girl. Everyone's gonna get mad and be like, "Yo, it's Chizuru," but look, it really is Ruka, guys. Come on now.
She's
Y'all messing
annoying.
up here.
She's annoying.
She was ready, dude. She was ready to take that seed.
She's ready to what? She's ready to what?
She was ready to take that
ruin
seed,
the what? Ready
She was ready to take
make
that
a
seed.
scene in front of Kazuya's parents, and be like, "Oh,
I'm not gonna
this
lie.
is my boyfriend," and then
That
make a
was
whole
a cre-
scene and
that
then
was-
make Kazuya seem like a jerk.
That was the cringiest.
She's great for doing that.
That was the cringiest moment in the whole series. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
man.
that honestly I agree. That makes somebody best girl, trying to ruin family situations. I agree. That does make someone worthy of being best girl, because when you mess up stuff like that, that's best girl material.
Like the moment
Yeah, you can
she
keep going.
was like, "I'm his girlfriend," and then said it twice, and I was like wincing. I was like, "Oh shit, this is really hard to watch." But they played it off really well. I'm not gonna lie. Kazuya is next level with being able to play some crazy shit off. And if you haven't read the
Well-
manga, please go read it, because it gets so much better. Or you could wait for season 2, but I'd say read the manga. And I gave it a 9.5 out of 10. Easily top 2 anime of this year, without a doubt.
All right, well, I guess we could both talk about this, because this reveals your number 1, and we'll go on to my number 2. My number 2 is Jujutsu Kaisen, so I guess we could both talk about this. And what can't you say about Jujutsu Kaisen? Like, honestly, it lived up to the hype and more. And people are comparing it to Chainsaw Man, and people are like, those are the two mangas that are like, I'm just like, it's so like, just
Good.
watching it, like the animation, the story, the Gojo, he's like, his power, it's insane. Like, just like seeing how these characters develop, the emotion poured into these characters, like the mystery stuff that I still want to find out. It just makes me, it's like, I want to watch the next episode. The outro, the ending and the opening, fire. Literally everything about this about this anime, nothing's like I can nitpick and be like, that's bad. Like, it's a really good anime. I'm giving it like an 8.3 out of 10 so far. It's pushing a 9. It's it's really good. I really really like this anime. I just can't wait to see where it goes. And but the only thing I'm worried about is just after this season, we won't see a season 2 for a while. That's the only thing I'm worried about, because I think this is being animated by Studio Mappa. I think this is by Mappa, and they have a backlog of tons of stuff that they have to animate, and I just don't think this will get one for a while.
Well,
but this
I mean,
has been,
you know, popular vote in anime studios always wins, and I think they're probably gonna prioritize pretty well.
what about like ReZero
It
or
would be,
No Game No Life?
ReZero's
Because
no, no.
compared
to
didn't it take
No
like
Game No
3
Life.
years?
I was saying, compared to No Game No Life, Jujutsu Kaisen is gonna take priority over it any day.
No. I'm not saying. I'm just saying like No Game No Life. That's one that people have been begging for years, and there's no season 2. And people have been begging for ReZero, and it finally got a second season in 2020. But when did the first season come out? Like 2016?
Yeah.
So, or 2017? It was 3, maybe 4 years since it came out. It took a while, but yeah, sometimes they can take a while. That's why I wouldn't get your hopes held up for Tower of God, because there's stuff going on with like business stuff and all that. So I don't even know if Tower of God is going to get a second season. Same with The God of High School and Noblesse, because you know those are Crunchyroll originals. So
yeah, without a doubt.
But Jujutsu Kaisen,
I'm really surprised you did not put it higher than a 9, my guy. Personally, 9.8. I see absolutely nothing wrong with this anime. There's really not a single thing wrong with this anime, and I can only praise it. This is literally probably one of the best anime that have come out within the past 10 years. Easily. The villain in here, so good. And it's crazy too, because it's fun to watch, like, literally probably one of the most evilest characters in all of anime have to become like this side character to our main character. You know, it's really crazy to watch, because at least, you know, with the Ninetales, he was good deep down in his heart. He was evil for a little bit, but he was good deep down in his heart. Just a sad little fox. But this guy, man, he is pure fucking evil. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is literally like, I will murder you just because I feel
and
like
he has
it.
interest in the what's that one dude's name? The better version of Sasuke. What's his name?
Oh, don't remember.
What Sasuke wishes he was.
Who Sasuke wishes he was.
Yeah, cause Sasuke trash. But he has interest in him. So, but yeah, and
Yeah.
Gojo. Let's talk about Gojo.
Gojo's the shit.
Goated. Better version of Kakashi.
Oh,
Better
without a
version of
doubt.
Kakashi. People compare him because they look similar. But yeah, or with like the mask and everything. But his power, and he's so strong, and his little domain is insane. Oh my gosh.
I will say Gojo is amazing. You even get to see his eyes, which is amazing, because, like, you know, like, that was something that you probably were expecting never ever to see, similar to you know, Kakashi, where you only like see his like face like once or something like that. But yeah, like, you literally get to see his eyes, so like nothing's held secret. This man is just built like that.
He's built different. Don't get it twisted. He is built
This man
different.
literally was
Okay?
like, oh, one of the strongest curses of all time? Cool. Hey, you want a training lesson? That was crazy.
Yeah, like
That
during
was crazy.
mid-fight, he was just like, oh. And he was just over there. He was like, oh, I was just over there a few seconds ago. And, bro, man, it's... Oh, my God. He's just fighting this dude. And this dude's supposed to be insanely strong. Like, like 7 Sukuna fingers or whatever. He's like, that's what he would say he is, and he destroyed him like it was nothing. Tore him apart. Was going easy. Was handicapped because he brought Itadori along with him, and ooh, bro, it's so.
It was.
Oh
crazy.
my god, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Like it has emotion. It has this. It makes you're feeling for the characters. They're having to do certain things. It's really good. It's really good. I get the understanding that people are comparing it to like Naruto, and honestly, to me,
this is way better.
The
than
beginning,
Naruto.
at least, is better than Naruto, and I think it could only be better than Naruto.
So I'm giving Jujutsu Kaisen my official score, 10 out of 10. I can't give it anything else. I literally find no flaws with it at all. I'm really surprised you didn't give it higher than a 9, but that's just me. That's the end of my list.
It may be a 9 when it's all said and done.
Go ahead.
That outro though. Okay, but my number one. It really shouldn't even be a question. One Piece. The episodes that came out this year, the arc we're covering, is insane. I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. The animation has definitely gotten better. Like I said, I'm excited for this year to see what happens. I'm excited to get 957 adapted. I'm actually, funny enough, I'm actually not caught up with One Piece. I'm still like 5 episodes behind, or like 6 or something like that. But you know, I'm excited for 957 to get adapted. Yeah.
Can't wait till I get there.
That's the one that people. Yeah, I know he's pretty far behind, but oh yeah. So for people who don't know, like we've had a couple requests for people saying, like, oh, react to One Piece opening. So Gabriel, he's about.
I'm at time skip.
Yeah, he's about at time skip.
No, I am at time skip. I'm literally exactly at time skip.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's exactly at time skip. So he's seen a lot of the openings, and I've seen all of them, obviously. And yeah, and One Piece, you know, for that's like my favorite anime, and that's the anime that I hold dear. It's, to me, it's like, you know, the best thing ever written, the best story, and that's one anime that I don't think I will be like I won't be reacting to on this channel, just because, you know, I don't want to have to deal with like any potential spoilers or any potential I don't know. Yeah, I just really don't want to deal with spoilers. That's what it comes down to in the day, and I just want to enjoy my that's my anime that I want to enjoy by myself, and you know, I enjoy it in my own way. So it kind of sounds weird by me saying that, but yeah, I hope y'all can understand by me saying that I love One Piece. I'm the biggest One Piece fan. Yeah, so I'm with y'all. I love One Piece. So, but yeah, that's just something I just won't be reacting to. And yeah, I just really don't want to deal with spoilers, because spoilers are all over the internet, and I try really hard to avoid them. I've had to block a couple of YouTubers, some great YouTubers, just because in their thumbnails they have spoilers and shit. But
I was really lucky to not get spoiled by like literally anything.
So yeah, but I try not to watch many One Piece stuff, because then it will get. Well, I do watch some One Piece videos, but not like I'm glad that I haven't got like really any spoilers for anything anytime soon. Like as of recent, hope that keeps up. Don't want to jinx it, but yeah, honestly, you know, spoilers is what it comes down to at the end of the day. So yeah, One Piece 10 out of 10. It'll always be a 10 out of 10 for me. And also, what we didn't include in this list is the My Hero movie, which came out last year. I'd give that also. It was beautiful.
I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
I'd give that a 10.
Easily.
I'd give that a 10 out of 10. Beautiful.
Easily.
Beautiful.
It
10
might
out of
be-
10.
no,
Beautiful. Like, I legit
actually,
cried of how beautiful it was at the end.
That might have been my
like, that
favorite
soundtrack
anime
hit,
movie.
like, I was like,
That might be my
my
favorite
gosh.
anime movie of all time, period. Without a doubt. It was so good.
I wouldn't say, like, because there's still, like, stuff like Stampede, Film Z.
Well, I haven't seen those things,
like
but-
One Piece Film Z.
I said
Your Name.
I said my favorite.
Yeah. No, I was just saying for me it wouldn't be. But yeah, honestly, love that. But yeah, so we're a pretty good chunk in. So, but yeah, I guess we'll make this last couple parts pretty quick. So What do you think could be nominated for Anime of the Year, and what would you have as your personal spot? We'll just make this quick. Honestly, I think Jujutsu Kaisen is going to win it, but I could see Jujutsu Kaisen, ReZero, Rent a Girlfriend being up there. What else could be up there? Maybe the My Hero season, because I think like the latter half of the season came in. Tower of God, I guess.
If I were to put my money on anybody, I would double down and bet that Rent a Girlfriend may win just because of pure popularity.
No, if off of pure popularity, it's going to be Jujutsu Kaisen, like 100%. I don't even think it's going to be. I don't even.
Sorry,
like, honestly, I think it's going to be Jujutsu Kaisen or ReZero second season.
Okay. So then Jujutsu Kaisen, I would predict to win Anime of the Year, but my underdog favorite would be ReZero season 2 because I've seen a little bit of it, and I really like ReZero. So yeah,
I think it's either going to be one of those two for sure.
I would say that would be the underdog favorite. I personally don't think there would be a situation where it would win, just because it hasn't gotten that much traction. It's really good, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the amount of talk online about it is limited, I would say, to the least.
Yeah, so best protagonist, best antagonist. Best protagonist, Itadori might win it just because of popularity, but who else could be up there? I'm trying to look. Jin Mori, or Mori Jin. God, please not Shinra. I guess
not Shinra.
I don't know. Best boy, who could be up there for best boy? Who's that one dude in Jujutsu Kaisen? I don't know. There's a lot. I guess we'll just cover the ones that we know. Best opening, there's got to be Jujutsu Kaisen. Rent a Girlfriend's opening. No, I personally think Noblesse's, but we know what the best opening to come out this year was, and that's Black Clover opening 10. That's not only one of the best to come out this year, but one of the best of all time. Yeah, and it's Black Clover.
Without a doubt. Best protagonist, I would like to see the main character from Darwin's Game be up there. Like I said, probably my favorite. Best antagonist has to be Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen, without a doubt. Best boy could be Jin. I think Jin would actually win best boy, personally. Best girl, without a doubt, Mizuhara. Without a doubt, Mizuhara. Best fight scene should go to I don't know, actually. It would be between Endeavor versus Nobu and probably the last fight from Jujutsu Kaisen. No. Goju versus the other guy. I forgot his name. That'll probably actually win best fight scene.
Which one?
Where he fights the volcano dude. I'm really bad with names.
I mean, I don't think so. I still think it'll be Endeavor versus Nomu that wins it.
I think that one should win it, but I would say a fight from Jujutsu Kaisen would probably be nominated and may win it. I think that will wrap it up for Crunchyroll Awards. I think we can go on to
best
for the
ending,
podcast.
best ending.
Best ending.
Jujutsu Kaisen ending. Obviously, no question.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Okay, but yeah, our best podcast that we're going to rank our top 3 podcasts for the year.
Top 3 podcasts for the past year.
Jeez, this group chat won't shut up. I'm just hearing it constant in my ear. I'm not even lying. It's going ding, ding, ding. Like I'm not even lying. Every second and a half.
All right.
It's my work group chat. I don't know how to mute it from my Mac. That's when you were talking. I was trying to find a way to mute it. They're literally been going on.
You could just edit this
for. Huh?
Yeah, so you could just edit.
No. I mean, I don't care if they hear this, but what's it called? So yeah, our top 3. So what'd you have as your top 3 in order?
My top 3 podcast episode from the past year
Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties right there, but yeah, we'll pick up where we left off. So list our top 3 podcasts for the year. If you want to start off.
Sure. So my number 3 was the Hunter x Hunter podcast. It was just really fun to have somebody, our friend Nick, who knew a lot about Hunter x Hunter, talk about a show, and it was our first show that I believe we completed as a channel together, and we were like, yeah, we're gonna watch this, for the channel, and we did, and it was amazing, and I really enjoyed. It was just really just one of the best podcasts I feel like I put effort into, without a doubt. Do you want to do your number 3, Mitchell?
Okay. I thought we were just gonna list them out like that. Like just 1, 2, and 3.
We can.
I mean, so okay, I guess I'd put in my 3rd spot. I'd put most toxic anime fandoms.
Wow.
That's what I'd put. Our episode 14. I'd put that number 3, and then number 2 I'd put Hunter x Hunter, and then number 1. And it doesn't have that many views, but I honestly thought it was our best one. So if y'all are listening and y'all are this far in, we appreciate you because not many people do. But I would say it's the Shonen Protagonist Tournament. I'd say that by far was our best one. Just how we were getting heated with each other. I've seen more anime since then, so I know a little bit more. I'd be able to talk more and know more. But just how we got heated. And like it was just entertaining how we were just messing with each other and going back and forth. It was just really entertaining. It wasn't like I guess the most professional one. It was a great one. The sound quality wasn't the best, but yeah, it's our episode 3. If y'all are interested, y'all
without a doubt one of my favorites of all time too. Number 2 is my Shonen Protagonist. That one's really good. Number 1 is the most toxic fandoms because I got to rip on some people's fandoms, and that's my favorite thing in the whole world. But if you have not seen either of these podcasts, I recommend you see the Shonen Protagonist one. Really wish it got more love. It is really an amazing podcast. Probably one of our favorite pieces of work.
We had a guest on it too.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So it was one of our earlier ones. Favorite, but our best podcast, at least that by y'all standards, is by far the Black Clover one, with like over 800 views for a podcast. That's insane. That's unheard of for any of our podcasts. But yeah, so for y'all Black Clover fans, we just did a Black Clover opening and ending reaction. But if y'all want more Black Clover content, what y'all can expect is Black Clover chapter reviews from not me, but
myself, Gabriel. Every 2 weeks, or whenever they release every 2 chapters. I was supposed to make one this week, but they haven't released a second chapter, so we're kind of waiting on it. But I review every 2 chapters of the Black Clover manga, so please go check that out every time they release.
Yeah, that's Gabe's He's trying to get a little community together. Guess what? That's his manga that, one of his mangas that he's staying up to date with. So, yeah. It'd be amazing if you guys could go over there and enjoy those because he goes into detail on the chapters and it's a great watch. So, is there anything else you want to say?
No, I think that's it. Thank y'all for sticking with us for this long. It's been a whole year. I'm so happy and I'm ready for the things that are to come.
The ones who've been... Yeah, we know it's the ones who've been there for a while, but we appreciate all of you just to
Super shout out to Directors of Finance.
Oh gosh, yeah, he's been one of our day ones. But like I said, we appreciate all of you. We know some of y'all and we recognize some of your names. So not just him or her, I don't know, but we appreciate all of you and the continued support, and we hope y'all continue to enjoy the content that comes out. But yeah, for the next year to come, we have a bunch of goals and a lot of content that we want to get out to y'all. But as I always say at the end of the podcast and videos, there's only one thing left to say. Make sure to take care and keep watching anime.